Today, I want to talk about a couple of realizations that I had about cloud software and cloud services in general. Now, over the last few months, I've been using and evaluating different cloud software for ediscovery, and I also received a bill from AWS for my own services that I use for software development for the database that I keep in a cloud. And that gave me two very interesting realizations, and I want to share them with you. Cloud is slow. So you guys know that I don't like virtualizations. I don't like VMs because I feel like they're always slower and they're always laggy, and when you remote into them, the remote desktop experience isn't great and performance isn't there. I had very few cases where I had good experience with VMs. And cloud is an extension of virtualization. It's the VMs that are hosted in cloud, basically. And one of the things I've been doing is I've been using ediscovery software from two completely different companies in different cloud service providers. One is Azure, one AWS. And I was comparing performance of these worker machines. Now, these worker machines is how ediscovery software scales itself. Pretty much all the modern software does it is you have these computers that are normally shut down, and whenever there is a work that needs to be performed, multiple computers boot up, they start working on the job, and when the job is done, they shut down again. Great way to handle scalability. However, what I found is how slow those worker machines are. Now, what I try to do is compare them to a physical station, which was very difficult, so my numbers are very, very rough. Please don't quote me or say, I said it, or say this is the exact thing. But roughly speaking, what I determined is if I take a fairly old, like maybe 6-7-year-old Dell server, average, nothing special about it, in order to match performance of that computer, I need about 7 cloud workers, which to me was crazy. I had 7 stations in the cloud that would match one really old server that not too many people would have now. So that just proved to me how slow the cloud infrastructure actually is. Now, this test was done on a CPU intensive task. Not all tasks are CPU intensive. For example, copying files or maybe extracting metadata may not require much CPU, so performance there would match more closely to a physical station. Tasks that I was doing were similar to OCR and things that do require a lot of CPU, which was intentional, of course. And so that is just underscored again how slow the cloud infrastructure is, mostly because in server environment, you pay for a server once, you buy it, and you use it as much as you want, right? And in the cloud, you get the server basically for free, but then you pay for use of it. And the faster the server is, the more you have to pay per hour. So the incentive here is to have those servers as slow as possible, so you pay as little as possible, where in the server environment, you can just buy it, you pay once, and you can get nice performance server that's going to be fast, well, for years to come. All right, now on to my second realization. And what I realized is how cheap the cloud computing can be. So I have this serial number management or activation key management system that I've built for my software. Right, I store the activation keys for everyone's software. I store what is the most recent version that is available, the URL link to download it. So there's nothing complicated. But if I were to do it, years ago before cloud, I would have to have my web server with MySQL, with PHP, with all kinds of layers and layers of technology, one's calling the other one. And I think I've done something like that before, but honestly, it sucked. I hated it. It was a lot of work. And if I had to do it again, I probably would have said, yeah, this isn't important enough to warrant all this work, and I just probably wouldn't do it. But with AWS, it was so easy to implement and use that I just did it in the afternoon, and it was awesome. And I also got 1 year free trial, and they weren't charging me for it. And so now that I started getting bills, first I didn't even realize I was getting bills. And then I looked, I'm like, what is this for? And then I realized how much all that is costing me, and my monthly bill is 20 cents. It's literally 20 cents a month to host a database in the cloud that solves so many problems for me, removes so much headaches, and gives so much convenience to my clients. 20 cents, it's crazy. So yeah, that was my second realization, which I totally did not expect. So if you're smart about it, you can tap into a lot of the cloud services and use them for almost nothing. So those are my two recent realizations about cloud, that it is slow and that it could be cheap if you use it wisely. Let me know if you guys want to add anything to my list. Please put it in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube. I'll see you in the next video.